Hi everybody, Mira here from Buzz Career Counselling. How are you? Um, we're back again, and just to start to do our employment chats. So I see a few people watching. So let's keep it going, keep the support going, because I can see that the changes are starting to come into the world of work. Very much so. And I kind of have a feeling that it's going to just go bang straight away. You know, there's some people are being affected by the world of work at the moment. Some people are being affected in different ways. Some people, already got children at home choosing to do that, so their work's already started to come home. For others, it's casual work that's they're just starting to lose less, have less shifts. Some who are working in the groceries, they're just doing such an amazing job at the moment trying to stock our shelves, but we'll be talking about that one as well. So today, employment chat 3, I just wanted to try and go through what it would be like to be working from home for some people, and that bit of hair is annoying me. So is working from home. So for some people, this may be an option. And we spoke yesterday about, finding out what is your situation. So some of you may have been able to do that already. Others are probably still sitting in this uncertain, I don't know what's going to happen zone. And that's okay. That's really bugging me, isn't it, OCD? So today I wanted to just work about to sort of go through what is like working at home. So I'm currently set up at home, and I've just had to explain to all my career counselling clients that the ones who are continually working with me, who used to see me in the office down at Majimba, are now going to be seeing me here on this screen. And it's it's fine. I have always offered it to people, corona or no corona, as a way of having our career counselling. So I've had clients in Brisbane and the UK and Rockhampton. So it's always been an option for me. So for some people though, this might be really, really new. So working from home, what does that look like? So you might tell that I'm not in my pajamas, and I'm actually not in my pajamas under halfway down. If you're going to be connecting with clients or connecting with workers. But I just wanted to go through a few points of what it's like to actually work from home if you haven't done it before. It always seems oh wow, I'd love to be able to work from home, but it's a whole different ball game. And particularly if it does come to this in Australia, it's highly likely if you're working from home, so are your children schooling from home. So this is going to be, really, really challenging for some people. Some people already do that. They operate from, self-employed, they operate from home and they've got young kids. I've seen, pictures of people in bed with a 2-year-old asleep on their lap and they're, typing madly on their computer doing things. So some of you, well done. You will have the skill set to be able to easily get through this next period of time if we're all forced to actually work from home. For others, it might take a little bit of adjusting. Adjusting, adapting, flexibility, they're all key words at the moment. So changes to the world of work are going to happen. And I was talking to a guy yesterday, and I'm a little bit excited that it may actually bring something new to the world of work and something new to schooling. And it's going to force us to do this massive shift of seeing things can happen differently. It's not going to be, it doesn't always have to be the way it's been. I've heard stories where automation can come in and workplaces are like, oh no, we don't need that. So this is going to just tip it on its head, like for schools to be doing online learning, and it's going to make everybody see things differently, and to be forced to come up with solutions of, okay, so how else can I make money? How else can I deliver what I'm doing other than, you know, over the counter in the workplace. And if there's no actual solution to, you know, sort of say landscaping, well, we're not actually going to be going to your house because we're all in lockdown, so I can't come and, you know, redo your backyard. Okay, so what else can I do? We're going to be looking at that quite a bit. But for now, for those people who are thinking that they will be able to work from home and that is a solution, today that's what we're focusing on. So a couple of points. Number one is, if things really are locked down, and when I think lockdown, I keep sort of picturing all the vision we're getting from Italy, where seriously, it's pharmacy and shopping. That's it. So it would be a really good time to consider now and then to get anything that you're going to need from the office space. So it won't be like, oh, just duck down into the office and things like that, if that's not the case. So just start to sort of consider, what do I need? What files, you know, what's not electronic that I actually need to physically take from the office that I use every day or use, you know, weekly, that's going to support you. So, because you don't want to be at home and there's this crucial thing at the office that you can't do half of what I do because I didn't bring that home with me. So be a little bit conscious with, what do I need from the office? And secondly, so setting yourself up. So at the moment, I don't have an office in this place that we're in. So I've got myself set up, which is usually where I do my online work. But I've got myself set up here, and you know, it's my space. So my daughter knows that when I'm here, I'm working. You know, if I'm over here or upstairs or whatever, then it's different. But she knows when I'm here, I'm working. So sort of setting that space. If you've got an actual office where you can close the door, fantastic. That's a million times better. But if not, if you have to just create a little space for yourself and for the people around you. I know when I was teaching, you know, there was certain spots in the room where it meant I was going to deliver information, and all I had to do was walk to that spot and everyone knew I was going to say something. Sorry about that. So so setting yourself up in a space that when I'm here, please don't distract me because I've got to get things done. When I walk away, then sure, you can, you know, we'll interact. That's the plan. So setting yourself up with some times. When are you going to work throughout the day? You know, if you've got children at home, we'll certainly discuss that as well. But, you know, it might be that children can be totally occupied at certain times of the day, and other times of the day you're definitely not going to be able to be working productively. So work out those times pretty quickly. And even yourself, you know, maybe the 9 to 5 that you've been doing doesn't really suit you. Maybe you're up at 5 a.m. and you'd rather sort of start work at 6. So you can change all those sorts of things working from home. Perhaps you're going to wait till it's nice and quiet at night time and then get a whole heap done, you know, really late at night. So that those sort of, you'll need to work out your bit of a schedule of what works for you. And with everybody else around you as well. So basically your routine's going to shift, your work routine's, you know, going to need to shift at home. And it might even be that, you know, you're communicating. So my next point was dealing with my next point was dealing with other commitments. So kids, animals. I've been in phone calls and the dog starts barking, you know, crazily at something outside. So making sure everybody else around you is sorted so that you can just focus on what you're doing. I saw a video from Italy, and so the lady and the husband were at home and the 2 kids, and it didn't look like a very large area, and they were all trying to get things done. So, you know, it has potential to be complete chaos. So the more you can sort of plan and think and, you know, make some really good decisions and get everybody in a routine as quickly as possible, that this is the way it's going to happen. This is what I'm doing at this time. And then everyone's going to be much calmer if we can just follow that sort of schedule. So, and chores, you know, you can change your time, your commitment of chores as well. You know, it's going to be, anyway, there'll be huge changes. Number 4, getting dressed. I find that, and I've seen this on a lot of other self-employed people who work from home, is that when they get dressed, they put themselves in a mindset. But also, I think it puts everybody else in that mindset. So if you're really serious about working from home, you need to let everybody else know you're serious. So I know, my dog knows, and kids are the same as animals. They pick up on everything that's going on. I know that when I have my shower outside the bathroom, my dog's going to be sleeping there. So I have to physically step over her. So she knows when I'm moving, because she knows when I have that shower, it usually means I'm heading out the door as a usual thing to work. So she can't quite understand the fact that I'm having a shower, getting dressed. I dare say she even smells the perfume that I put on, knowing that smell, these actions all mean you're going to jump in the car and head out. So it's, you know, it's still all those routines of yourself getting dressed. Okay, I'm now at work. I'm switched on. When you're finished, maybe get out of your work clothes. So that's a bit of a mindset thing, not only for you, but for everybody else. I'm working. I'm in my work clothes and I'm sitting in my workspace. And then later, when I'm not working and we can all interact again, I'll be in different clothing. Might just help you. Might just help people to know mum's at work or dad's at work. Okay. The next one is communicating with colleagues. So I've seen that Monday come up. So not quite sure what it's like, but I'm sure there's plenty of tech out there to help people. If you've got any ideas, drop them in. But communicating with colleagues will be a big one if you're going to continue to be sort of productive. Some industries may allow you just simply to continue what you're doing, but you're at home. There's not going to be much change to what's going on, because what you're doing is sort of in the background work for, you know, a big project or something like that. So you're not actually required to be anywhere or go anywhere, and it's more of an office job anyway. So that may still happen. So communicating with colleagues as you usually would, just setting up those, perhaps it's a certain time of the day, how you're going to communicate, just sort of, you know, informally, as you would, you know, over the counter, or, you know, over your pin board. How you're going to be communicating with clients. So I've set up with my clients to do Zoom, to do FaceTime if they don't have, you know, camera on. I just like the non-verbal, the body language if I can. So I'm offering Zoom. I'm offering FaceTime with their phone. I'm offering Messenger for some people, or just phone. So there's 3 video options there, or one just audio on the phone. So I let people choose what they feel comfortable doing. Not everyone's used to this sort of communicating. That's okay, as long as we're still, you know, able to communicate clearly and get the work done. It means I do things a little bit differently, because I do a lot of sort of card sorts. I do a lot of, you know, sort of hands-on, visually do this worksheet, things like that. So that just means that I'll be sending those through and we'll still be discussing them. It just means adapting, adapting to how I usually do it, which I've done before, but for you it might be starting to learn how to adapt to do things a little bit differently, you know, like signing documents, things like that. Well, there's plenty of technology. There's technology for everything. There really is. So just sort of start working out what they might look like. So communicating with colleagues and communicating with clients, and what's going to be the easiest sort of setup for you. So there also might be a slight discussion, depending on how much your industry or employer is going to be affected. There might be a slight discussion about, or a slight change about, your actual role. So perhaps 50% of your role can be done here in a desk situation, or is usually done at a desk. No, no need for external, but maybe part of your role was to, go and do site visits, or, supervise this or supervise that. That's not actually even happening anymore. Then, okay, how can I tweak my role where I'm still doing something for the company, but for that 50% of what I used to do is not actually, possible to do anymore. What can I be doing to spend my time? So I'm encouraging people to be a little bit proactive. So your employers have got a lot of things to think of. They're thinking, I'm thinking the rental of my office. I'm thinking, the bigger sort of picture stuff, which you won't be thinking as an employee. So try to sort of come up with ideas. That project that we've had on the back burner for 6 months because no one's ever got time to do it. I could be spending some time creating that. So, we know all of this will pass, we hope. So, things hopefully will end up back in normal. So that we can have that project up and written and ready to go for when things get back to normal. So try and be a little bit proactive for your bosses, and you come up with some ideas of how you can work at home. There might be something you've been dying to do and just the daily tasks don't allow it, but now that you've sort of got that breather from the sort of face-to-face contact, well, that frees me up for 60% of what I do. So what else are you going to do, rather than just going, oh well, you can't be working, boom, finish. So please try and be a little bit proactive in coming up with some ideas that's still going to benefit that company in the long run. Financially, it's going to make a big difference when things get back. Okay, perhaps there's a slight change to your hours of work, and that may just be a simple financial. They don't have the money coming in, so they can't support all the same number of employees. So it might be that everyone has to drop back hours if you're able to still work from home. And I guess that's something we just have to sort of ride out and be thankful that we're still getting some hours, whereas some people, which we'll talk about tomorrow, potentially not getting any hours. So be a little bit sort of, we're all trying to work it together. So they've got to stay afloat, you've got to stay afloat. And if everything, rather than it being drastic, if everybody just kind of gets to drop back a little bit, it might still mean, well, I've still got some income coming in, and I'll tweak some finances in my end. That's another session. So changes to your responsibilities in the workplace. Perhaps something new might be making sure everyone's on the same page, which we didn't have to do in the office. So try and think of what responsibility you can take on from working from home. And probably the last thing I want to say is just to really make sure you're very, very clear. When things sort of happen, quite quickly, which they, I guess, eventually will, just try to make sure, have those discussions, because it's all very, very new. You're not expected to know what's expected, what's required of you in this new situation. So just be very, very clear. Ask the questions. Can I please clarify? This is what you want me to be doing. 1, 2, 3 things you want me to be responsible for. You want me to be sending it through, what are the deadlines? Who am I communicating with? How are we communicating? What sort of hours am I getting paid for? You might go home and, work your usual 38-hour week and then realize that they're only actually paying you for 20 hours a week. So just very, calmly make sure you work out exactly what's going on for you, and make sure that's clear between you and your colleagues. And so everybody's on that same page. This is the changes that are happening. This is what we're doing. So I hopefully that is a little bit helpful for you. There's lots of things there with the working from home, and it is possible. It is very possible. Many people have done it with, injuries and illness and things like that in the past. So it will be possible for you if you have that type of role that, you know, that allows you to still be working from home. It may require a little bit of creative thinking, a little bit of problem solving, a little bit of introduction of tech that you're perhaps not used to. But if you can hang on to that job and that pay packet, do whatever it takes. I really do think that, if you, as you will realize, we don't want to be too sort of difficult in these times, because then it's just going to be too hard for people. So, and if they're looking for someone to drop off from the pay packet, that might be you. So just, you know, try to keep calm, try to keep the harmony in the workplace, and try and be flexible and adaptable to, you know, change. I love change, so I love adapting. I love variety, but that's me, and I understand that that's not everybody. So just keep it a little bit in mind. This is new for everybody. Everybody's adapting. Everybody's making changes. Everybody has to see things differently and do things differently. So breathe and listen and get clarity around what you're expected to do, and then have a go at doing it at home. And, you know, we can always jump back on here if you've got any questions. So good luck. And I know I'm still a couple of, I don't know, days, weeks ahead of Australia, but, you know, these are in place here to have a look at. Okay, good luck. Get out of your pajamas, get dressed, feel like you're working, and get some work done. And we'll talk about the kids and the dogs and all of that as well. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day, and subscribe so you don't miss the others. Okay, bye.